So what's up everyone, this is Ryan from Freedom Foods Farm and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't heard yet, here in East Texas and actually a lot of part of the country, we're in a pretty bad drought. And today gonna go over and kind of give you guys an update about how we're handling it, how we're doing, and if we're gonna make it. Because right now, most cattle ranchers are across the south, even up north a little bit. We're just in survival mode. The good news is that we have grass. The good news is that we have grass. Bad news is it's not nearly as much as we've had in past years right around this time. And if you've been following us for any length of time, you guys know what we do here is we move our cows every day to a new fresh paddock for new fresh grass. And I gotta tell you, it's helping. Because right now we're seeing entire herd sellouts, we're seeing 50% sellouts, we're having people just get rid of, you know, all their cattle because they can't feed them or they can't afford to feed them. And around here it's pretty sad because we're getting hit with just about the perfect storm of, you know, Murphy's Law when it comes to this drought. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong. And this all really got started last year, like right when that snowpocalypse, that winter storm hit, to where we got 2 feet of snow here. We never get that. That never happens. Like a once in 120 year kind of storm that hits this area. And what has happened is that our grasses, the roots of it got damaged. The whole base of it got damaged because we're just not used to having those temperatures. You know, it got down to -4 with feels like of -12. And here, the lowest, the absolute lowest that we should get to here is about 10 degrees. And when you flip that much and you have that much snow on the ground, there's going to be lasting effects. And talking with our hay contractors, what they're telling me is that last year it didn't affect the grass too much, funny enough. It's this year that it's really having a major impact on it. To give you an example, our hay contractor that cuts a field that usually produces 240 bales of hay each year. You know, that's about the average. He's been cutting that field forever, and this really goes across the board. This year, he got 40 bales. That's a sixth of what he's normally used to getting off the hay meadow. That's a pretty significant change. And if you take that all across the board here, that's pretty bad. And then you add in what happened the summer of last year, to where we got like 1/3 of an inch of rain over the course of 20 weeks. Now that wasn't for the whole area, just storms for some reason like to miss us on this hill here. It's frustrating. And this entirely has to do with that La Nina weather pattern, to where it pushes dry air over here, cold air up north, and the rains just don't come. And when I saw in very early spring that weather pattern was going to continue into this year, I said, you know what, we have to make some moves. We got to be able to grow more grass, we have to get more grass, we have to be able to find our own hay. And when you combine it with fuel prices the way they are and all the rest of inflation, hay prices, last year we paid $27 a bale. Pretty good deal. Great. Can you find that now? Absolutely not. I checked around today and the lowest price that I found for hay was $85 a bale. And then if you don't have a way to go pick it up yourself, last year we paid $5 a bale to have it delivered. Great, no problem, that works out. $5 a bale, I don't mind that. I just got quoted $18.50 a bale. That's tough. And then, I told you this is the perfect storm. It just keeps adding, just things keep adding to it. We've been here 2.5 years on the farm. In those 2 years, we've had one day over 100 degrees. This year, we're already around 20 days over 100 degrees. I mean, it's just, and there's really no end in sight. We're looking like 104 tomorrow, 103 the next day. That normally doesn't happen here. But what happens is that when this pattern kicks in and the ground dries out really quickly, temperatures go up. Combine it with one of the driest Junes we've had on record, because June is actually one of our wettest months. May and June is when we really get our rains. This happens. It's just everything's hitting us all at the same time. So now the real question is, how is that affecting us and how in trouble are we? So I'm going to give you guys kind of a state of the farm address real quick. We're doing okay. We're not in trouble, but we're not out of the woods by any means. Thankfully, by the grace of God, the other morning on Thursday, I woke up at about 5:30 to boom, boom, boom. thunderstorm was moving in. I looked at the radar, it looked like it was gonna miss us. Somehow, a big old cell was able to form just north of us, and we got 2 inches of rain over the course of about an hour and a half, 2 hours. That right there, it probably saved us. It legitimately probably just saved us from having to do anything with the cows, having to sell off, having to try and squeeze in a processing date early. We're not out of the woods by any means. We're not out of the woods by any means at all, and we still need every drop of rain that we can get. But I think we're gonna be okay. I think that we're not gonna lose any cows. We're not gonna have to sell off any cows. I think we're gonna keep our herd intact. We still need some rain. Now the same can't be said for everybody else, and it's really unfortunate. You know, we have sale barns all around the area. There's usually a sale every day somewhere around here. And what we're finding is that the sale barn lines are going out to the street and going on for miles. There is a sale in Emory last Saturday to where they took in 3,500 head. And they didn't stop unloading. I think it was until like 10 o'clock at night. They didn't finish selling until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They didn't even get the reports, and they stayed up all night till about 8 o'clock that following morning. I know there's a sale going on around here that's already projected to have over 6,000 head. It's tough for people right now. And it's not only grass that ranchers are running out of around here, it's also water. I'm gonna give you an example. Now our pond, we don't let our cows drink out of it every day. They drink out of it maybe once a month, okay? Once or twice a month. They'll come to the edge, take a sip, and then we move them along and we have them drink out of our water troughs. This is what our pond looks like. This right here is the normal edge of our pond. This is where, you know, the water line should be. Let's take a look where it is now. It's all the way down here. Look at this. Our pond is so down. Look where you can see where we put the electric fence at to keep them out of it. It's so down. Look, that's the edge of it right there. Look at how much water we are missing, and this is just purely due to evaporation. That's scary. These tires here were put in here by the previous owner. I'm pretty sure it's for like a, you know, little fish bed that you know, fish could get in, lay their eggs, grow up their young in without having them get eaten right away. But this is obviously way down. So what did we do to combat this? What did we do to try and grow as much grass as we possibly can? Well, moving the cows every day, what that has done, it has given us a ground cover. What that does is we're not taking everything. We're allowing the ground to soak up any moisture that it can. And we have more ground cover here probably anywhere else I've seen, because it would make most places around here right now, they'd be jealous of a putting green. That's how bad it is. This is about what we're leaving behind. You know, they can come back for another bite here. They can come back for maybe another 2 bites if we're really lucky and it grows up enough. But we have carbon on the ground, which is what we need. Because those 2 inches of rain that came, if you didn't have carbon on the ground, you don't have organic matter, and it looks just like, or it looks worse than a putting green, guess what? That water, it puddled up and ran off. And some could even argue that that water actually did more damage, because what it did is it took topsoil with it when it ran off. Here, we didn't have very many puddles at all. You don't want to see a lot of water puddles. You don't want to see a lot of standing water. You want to see it hit, get absorbed, hit, get absorbed, hit, get absorbed when it's raining. And it looked like kind of like a glass lake, to where it sat on top, it didn't get absorbed right away, and it just washed away and took topsoil with it. So us, by having this covering out here, even though it's weedy, yes, it's extremely weedy, helped us big time. And yeah, our pastures don't look good right now, but I'd rather have the weeds than not have the weeds, because nature, whenever there's a bare spot, it's gonna try and just grow something. And if I were to come over here and take all these leaves away, or these weeds away, create a bare spot, because the grass is just not going to grow in a lot of those places right now because it's just so dry. The goat weed that you see out here, it has a long taproot. It can go down farther than the coastal or the bahia and get that little bit of moisture and stay alive. What it's doing is it's shielding our soil, it's shielding our microbes in the soil from burning up in 103 or whatever it's going to be today. It's acting like a bunch of little umbrellas to where it's saying, okay, microbes, we're going to give you a little bit longer, so when we do get the rain, they're able to grow up because we have plenty enough sun. And also what we've done was we've expanded the farm. My dad bought across the street, so we can check back a couple videos, you can see us taking the steers across the street to where it takes some pressure off of this farm, and then we can utilize that grass across the street. Then the last thing that we did is I looked for leases. I was able to get my hands on one lease, and it used to be, for years and years and years, it used to be a hay meadow. So this year we're going to keep it as a hay meadow and try and get as much grass as we can off of it to be able to feed our herd throughout the winter. We're doing okay on hay. We have about, I'd say we have about 70% of what we need right now, and then our hay meadow we're gonna have cut probably next week, hopefully. That'd be great. And that should put us to right around 95% of what we need. And we're gonna cross our fingers big time that somehow we get a few more rains and we can get one more cutting off that hay meadow, because I'd much rather pay, it's what, 30 something bucks a bale to have made right now, rather than try and buy it at it's going to be around 100 to 150 by the time you get delivered here, and you know, it's decent quality. It's tough right now. So like I said, we're doing okay. We're not doing great by any means. We need more rain. We just need to pray for, probably what we need is a hurricane. We need a hurricane to come up and just sit and dump over us for a couple days. That would be incredible. But this year there's nothing going on in the tropics. Been checking every day, by the way, and it just makes it tough. It just makes it hard. It's hard to film. It's hard to get out here and film because, you know, I've been trying to get up earlier so I can get out of the house and get outside earlier when it's cooler out. But like right now, it's already 98 degrees and I'm sweating. It's hot. And that's why I'm staying in the shade, walking underneath. I'd rather avoid tree limbs than, you know, the heat. So it even makes it tough to film YouTube videos because, you know what, it gets hot and it just feels nasty. And when I film, I like to be in a good mood, and when it's that hot, it's hard to be in a good mood. So with that, pray for rain, subscribe, like, pray for more rain, leave a comment if you like. Remember, if I haven't made it clear yet, pray for some rain.